It's a beautiful spring day in Boise, and as much as I'd love to get outside and enjoy it, there are some really important changes coming to property taxes that you need to know about. What are they? Let's find out. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Summer Aston. I'm a realtor in the beautiful Boise, Idaho area with the Summer Aston Real Estate Group at Silver Creek Realty Group, and I make videos all about Boise real estate, so make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my new videos. I know, property taxes, so boring, right? Well, listen up, because there are some property tax changes that have happened and are going to happen that will affect homeowners, investors, and prospective home buyers that you need to know about. And there is a very important date you need to know about. First, remember, I'm not a tax expert, so I am going to leave lots of information in the description down below so you can do your own research and find out some more information for yourself. The first thing to keep in mind here is that in Idaho, we pay property taxes in arrears. So this means that in May of 2021, we are finishing up paying for the taxes of 2020. So let me set the stage here so we can understand how the property tax changes have affected you and will affect you for 2021. Okay, we have number one, Idaho's Public Safety Grant. We've also got number two, rising home values. And then we've got the third factor, House Bill 389. So these three things are all coming together at one time, and let's see if we can figure out what may result. And we're also going to look at them one thing at a time. Let's look at factor number one, Idaho's Public Safety Grant. Did you know that there was a one-time property tax reduction in 2020 for Ada County? So according to the 2020 Tax Reduction Frequently Asked Question Guide, Idaho created the Public Safety Grant Initiative to leverage CARES Act funds to cover local public safety personnel expenses associated with the coronavirus. And to participate in this initiative, local elected officials agreed not to increase the base property tax budgets and not to take the allowable 3% increase. As a result, property taxpayers are receiving a one-time property tax reduction for 2020. I'm going to leave a link for this down below so you can find all this information there. So that sounds good, right? We paid a little bit lower taxes for 2020 than we would have. And maybe that explains that with even rising home values, my personal home's property taxes only raised about $60 from 2019 to 2020, and that's for the whole year. So according to this, our property taxes in 2020 already reflect that one-time reduction. Also, it says that the savings amount will vary by parcel. It depends on your property's taxable value. And that it says that your 2020 property tax bill already includes the one-time reduction. It also says, though, that if you live in Eagle, Star, or Cuna, that it's already included in the reduction amount for your bill. And so the savings itself won't be listed. So my understanding is that if you don't live in Eagle, Star, or Cuna, you will find the actual savings amount listed on your tax bill. And then keep in mind that this was a one-time reduction only for 2020. Okay, factor number two is those rising home values. So it's no secret that in some places, the home values have risen as much as 40%. It's really around 20 to 30% in most places. But with rising home values comes rising property taxes. So starting May 28th, Ada County homeowners should have started to receive their new assessed values. So please stay calm when you open these. And if you haven't received it yet, you can look it up online. Go to the Ada County website and you can find your assessed value there to prepare yourself. I looked my personal home up and the value is up 32% since last year. So does this mean that my personal property taxes are automatically going to go up 32%? And what if you think that your assessed value is too high and you want to dispute it? So no, this doesn't quite mean that your property taxes will go up by the same percentage that your assessment went up. According to the Boise Regional Realtors Association, actual assessments and values are influenced by a variety of things, including changes to the property's assessed value over time, changes to levies, special assessments and/or adjustments by tax district, changes to tax legislation, like for example, the House Bill 389 we'll talk about, whether or not a homeowner's exemption has been claimed on the property, whether or not the property owner participated in a circuit breaker program, and in 2020, a one-time property tax reduction due to Idaho's public safety grant initiative that we already talked about a little bit. So first, let's revisit that homeowner's exemption. For the past several years, that exemption has been $100,000, meaning if your assessed value was $350,000 and you had an exemption of $100,000, you would pay property taxes on $250,000, and at very roughly 1%, that would be about $2,500 a year. Also keep in mind that assessed values are generally less than the market value of the home, which is good for your property taxes. So if you have recently bought a home, make sure you go to the Ada County website and get your homeowner's exemption because it can be a huge savings. So I'll tell you where you can find out how to dispute your assessment in a minute, but that homeowner's exemption brings us to that factor number 3, which is House Bill 389. I'll leave a link to the whole bill down below so you can check it out for yourself. And there are many pros and cons to this bill. Let's just say there are a lot of people fighting against it. But the part I'm focusing on today is the part that raises that homeowner's exemption to $125,000. So how much this increased homeowner's exemption is going to offset the increased values of home and that one-time 2020 tax reduction isn't determined yet. So how does this all come together on the stage of the Ada County property taxes? So we have factor number 1, that 2020 one-time tax reduction. We have factor number 2, the rising home value increases. And we also have factor number 3, the increase in the homeowner's exemption from the House Bill 389. So although we may get that $125,000 homeowner's exemption, property taxes are still going to jump a huge amount due to the rising home values. And it's going to seem like an even bigger rise in property taxes because they didn't rise very much in 2020 due to that one-time reduction. So what could all these things coming together at the same time look like for you and your property taxes? Well, this is going to be very generalized, but let's just assume a home with an assessed value at $350,000 in 2020, and you had a $100,000 homeowner's exemption, and so you were paying that roughly $2,500 a year in taxes, and that was a very small increase from 2019 due to the 2020 tax reduction. Now let's say that $350,000 assessment goes up by 30%. So in 2021, your home is now valued at $455,000, and now you get a $125,000 homeowner's exemption, and you pay roughly 1% in property taxes. So your 2021 tax bill will be roughly around $3,300. So your tax bill will go up about $800. So that's roughly about how much my personal home property taxes will go up. That's quite a bit higher than they went up from 2019 to 2020 when they only went up by about $60 for the year. But it's also roughly about $250 less than it would have gone up without the new increase in the homeowner's exemption. So for prospective home buyers, this data is going to be very important when you're talking to your lender because the lender will have the tax data on a home you're interested in purchasing from 2020. They're going to have to estimate what the taxes are going to be for 2021 with those increased values, and that could really affect what you may qualify for when you're buying a home. Okay, and what if you want to dispute your home value? If you think your assessed value is too high and you want to try to get your property taxes a little bit lower, you can dispute it, and here's how to do it. First and most important, you need to know the date. You can only do this up until June 28th of 2021. You must appeal by June 28th of 2021. This information can be found on the Boise Regional Realtors website, and I'll also leave the link down below so you can find that for yourself. But step 1, you're going to make sure your assessment is correct. They have too large of a lot size, too many bedrooms. Is the condition of your home less than average? Document any discrepancies that could lower the value. Number 2, you're going to search the Ada County website for comparable homes. And you can work with a realtor like me to help you find those comps and see if those assessments are lower. If they are lower than your home, then you're going to document that. And number 3, once you have the information you need, contact your appraiser whose name is on the assessment notice so you can share your research with them. And then number 4, if speaking with the appraiser leaves you unsatisfied, you can file a formal appeal with the County Board of Equalization. And remember, that has to be done by June 28th, 2021. And again, for more information, check out the links down below. So it was really no surprise that our property taxes are going to increase since our home values have increased so much. But just remember to stay calm when you open your new assessment. Maybe it'll help you realize that maybe now is a good time for you to sell or a good time for you to refinance. And if you have any questions about buying or selling a home, you can contact me and my team at summerastonrealestate.com. I hope you found this information helpful. If you want to see my latest listing tours, you can check out these videos right here. And if you want to see a video of my last market update, you can check out a video right here. I'm going to be making a new market update pretty soon, so you'll want to watch for that. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.